Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. And today I'm going to talk to you about another film that I believe is severely underrated. It was caught in a part of the trends of Hollywood mid 2000 to, well, in the 2000s. It was a trend of, I guess you could say, amongst in the Iraqi war that was happening. Spy thriller with Traitor, starring Cheadle, Guy Pearcings, Neil McDougall, and I forgot who that actor was who was in Vantage Point. It's a story about a undercover CIA special force operative who is infiltrating a group of, maybe radical is not the right word, but he's infiltrating, trying to earn the trust of this person, trying to bomb certain facilities around Europe and in the States, and formulating a radical group. Don Cheadle plays a undercover agent to earn his trust and to bring him down, while having a FBI team investigating Don Cheadle because they don't know that he's actually a good guy. I'm trying to explain the plot without making it seem like, just trying to be, on the subject. And I think this is the first film. I mean, I've seen some of Don Cheadle's work earlier, but this was the film that really made me pay attention to him more. Just sold me of his work. For me, back during that time, I think the movie came out in 2008. I think I saw it when it came on Stars in 2009 or 2010. I was actually kind of excited watching the movie because I remember seeing the advertisements in the film in theaters, but I didn't get around to it until it came on Stars. And this film, spy thriller, got me involved with watching more of Don Cheadle's work. I thought he was phenomenal. He plays Samir Horn, who is a Muslim who gets caught infiltrating this group. Who's also a CIA agent undercover. Who he reports to is Jeff Daniels, his boss, to find leads of other people who are influenced or tied into that group. And he himself, Samir, Don Cheadle, gets a little bit too paranoid when he believes that he might be in too deep and his cover is going to be blown. And you see the struggle and then some of the sacrifices he has to commit in order to gain the trust of these people. So, and to try to back him up, some of the government tried to fake certain or stage certain things to convince the bad guys that Samir is a part of the league, which also sometimes risky, does still impact people's lives, whether it's they try to fake it or not. And you see it takes a toll on Don Cheadle's character. Guy Pearcings, underrated actor, an amazing actor, is the FBI agent hunting him down. And they do have that kind of encounters you've seen from other movies where you have the guy chasing the anti-villain, anti-hero, and they have their dialogue of trying to understand one another and back and forth. You have that in here, and I think that this is one of the best ones of that movie for it. I think Steve Martin also wrote this movie. That once Guy Pearcings, I don't think he fully understands that Samir is actually on their side until like near the very end. Near the very end. So, especially when he finds out that Jeff Daniels gets involved somehow, then he starts to kind of put the pieces together. Like, okay, so this guy is on our side. And he's trying to bring down a very menacing villain. But what I also liked about this is that the villains in here, there's some humanity to them. Like they like you when what's the word I could really describe this? I like it that they make the bad guys feel very human. Like when they mess up, when they believe certain things, they really believe it. And then towards the end of the scene where Samir does reveal to the antagonist his real identity, but throughout the film you see that they've established a good friendship, like a very close good friendship, and you see that betrayal. It breaks the guy's heart, but you also feel for that friendship, you feel for that betrayal. That's what I really liked about it. And this wasn't just your average like action thriller. It was a thriller. It's a spy thriller, but it doesn't focus heavily on action. It's more story and emotional driven. And I think it's one that was very overlooked. And I think it came on a lot on Stars when it back in the day. And I thought this one, comparing this to Body of Lies, because I think Body of Lies came out that same year, 2008. I felt this one was a bit more emotionally investing compared to Body of Lies, which I love. Body of Lies, one of my favorite action films ever. Compare it to this one with Body of Lies, I feel like this one was more emotionally driven. Like you really feel the characters' sacrifices, their input, or their stakes they have in the story. With Body of Lies, I felt it was more story driven and more a little bit with style with Ridley Scott. But Traitor, I highly recommend for those who haven't seen it. It is a trend of one of those movies where a certain issue that is happening in real life, they make a movie about it. Politically, it's one of those movies that kind of tie part of the trends, but I think this one got a little bit lost with it. Where Hollywood would fish out pretty much a lot of movies trying to tie into current times, and try to make money off it. But I thought this one was really good. I thought this one was very intense, scary good, and I think it's one of Don Cheadle's best movies. Traitor, have you seen it? Comment below, let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.